So the voice changer's gone, because I actually listened to the video afterwards and that was terrible. A mistake. Did, however, get and sort out an equalizer, so hopefully that sounds better. I don't know. Today I'm going to do the one thing I didn't want to do. Actually take a break at the to be continued thing. I can't just be splitting it down into pieces like this. I need to get through these games faster. But anyway. Hello! That button. Hopefully that will work. Turn that fucking down. Ugh. Gonna have to wait till some music starts playing. Count on! One. Shifu, 99 callouts. So all 99 members are most likely here and accounted for, sir. Hey you. Yeah, you. The second one from my right. Sir? Yes, sir? Here. Birthday present for you. What? Shifu, didn't know that you knew all of our birthdays. What a kind heart you have, Shifu. You're more of a man than we'll ever be, sir. Really sorry, but it's not my birthday. Langzi says, a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. That present isn't for you. It's for your younger brother's wife's younger brother. Tell him I said hi and happy birthday, won't you? Yes, sir! Shifu, I can't believe you remember that much about each of us. Shifu, I'm so moved that I can't stop crying. I should probably leave them to their alone time. Alright, meeting's over. Everyone, head for your posts. Dismissed. Sir! Yeah, were you guys there the whole time? I got a call from Shina. She's already filled me in. It sounds like you're out to get in my way again. I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation. I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Alberston Embassy. What if I say no?
Objection!
Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, he is to be extended the same rights.
Sorry, sis, but it's not that simple. Bast has the strictest immigration regulations in the world. Or didn't you know? Even among my elite men, only about half of them are admitted into the country. Besides, any more cooks in the kitchen, and we might spoil the soup, if you get what I mean.
How dare you make such assumptions?
Don't take this the wrong way. But I thought I was in charge of Albest, Miss Von Karma. Look, try to understand, okay? Things over in Albest are a bit of a mess right now. What do you mean by a bit of a mess? No one told you. We had an incident in Albest as well. And this is what we call a decision based on the investigation, Mr. Prosecutor.
Look, Wolfie, just let us in already.
Is there a problem here, Agent Lang? Is there a problem here, Agent Lang? Not really, just having a discussion about whether or not to let these guys in.
Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation.
Having a debate because of my country. I'm terribly sorry for placing you good people in that kind of situation. It is all because I lack the strength to govern well. Please, it is nothing of the sort, Ambassador. You weakling, Graucus. Curse your frailty and inability to effect change in your country. What are you? The thing is, investigations conducted in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment that in order to minimize disruption in the investigation, I should leave everything up to Agent Lang. There, you see?
Oh, no way.
Ambassador Alba, I ask you to please reconsider letting them into Albast. What's that? My very own secretary has been murdered in the Balby's embassy. And he was apparently caught up in some very shady dealings, completely unbeknownst to me. So I ask for your cooperation in our investigation. These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses to Babel someday. Alright, I get it. Even if you beg Ambassador Alba, I still have to give the final okay anyway.
Right, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in.
Not so fast, my little crow girl. You're still a witness in the Babel murder. So I'd like you to please stay in the Republic of Babel. Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me. Yes, sir. Sounds good to me. The fewer troublemakers, the better. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes?
So, I wanted to ask for a while now, but that lady over there, is she who I think she is?
Oh, that's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet.
Francesca von Kammer, the prosecutorial prodigy. It's nice to see you again. Oh, I knew it. You're the whip lady. You may address me as Miss von Kammer. Miss von Kammer, I'll leave the investigation in Albast in your hands. Thanks. Rest assured, I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatagarasu.
The smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask Francesca a bit more about them before I head into Albast. Oh, I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Polino for all that he has done for me. Blech. You've made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It's truly amazing.
Agent Hicks, whose help I had requested, was cut down before he completed his task. There is no room for further failure in my perfect investigation.
In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct?
It was nothing. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggled item I was following.
You mean the Balbesian ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Balbes ink to begin with?
That's classified Interpol info.
Francesca, as your subordinate, I am part of your investigation now. Don't you think it would be beneficial if I was as well informed as you?
Point taken. Very well. I'll fill you in. Recently, we discovered some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Zhengfa.
Counterfeit bills?
Yes, as you may have deduced, the counterfeits are being made with Babel's special Babel's ink. And it's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Babel's ink from real ones. Thus, it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Balb.
That's where this document comes into play, correct?
Correct. Mr. Cohen was smuggling large amounts of Balby's ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I need to know that he was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem.
Let me guess. You still have yet to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggled ink.
Yes. And rather than listing things, I might as well add the counterfeit plates to the pile. Since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Balbese embassy, we're looking into the Albastian embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hidden. Mark my words, I will find them.
Ambassador Polino, I am in your debt.
No, it's nothing. Because it's about all I can do for you, I'm afraid.
I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador. On my honor.
Ooh, you're so sensational. You really piqued my curiosity. I know they aren't much, but know that I'm giving them to you wholeheartedly.
No, that's quite all right.
Oh well, how about this then?
And what exactly is it?
It's fountain pen ink, known as Balbelese ink. It's made exclusively in Babel.
So this is Balbelese ink.
We make it from white crystal oil, which is mined through our mineral mines. Please accept this ink. One dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer.
How fortunate for me. The ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I gladly accept your gracious gift.
Great! Wonderful! I guarantee to you that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience. And since we don't export it, if you run out, you're always welcome to come and visit our fair nation.
Talk about cornering the customer along with the market. Well, shall we get going? What's wrong, Kay?
I didn't get permission to enter Alabast. So we're going to go gather whatever info we can over on the Babylesian side, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you two.
Right, and I'm counting on you and Miss Von Karma to sniff out clues in Alabast. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, just let me know, okay? You tell me, I'll rush on over straight away no matter where you are. There.
I'll let you know when the time comes.
Ugh. What do you think you're doing to my subordinate? You're... Edgy! Oh, thank the heavens you're here! I'm in a really, really big pickle, you lordship. The raven, it appeared, poof, and then disappeared, swoosh. And I am the still samurai. I saw it. Ah, I'm so confused. I don't know what it means anymore. Who is this fruitcake? I'm Larry, of the House of Butts. Married man, a neo-oldie Tokyo, my lady. Now I remember. This is person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles?
Yes, frighteningly enough. He is.
Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind, and you act like it's no big deal.
What sort of bind are we talking about here?
The suspect kind. I accidentally became a suspect in a murder.
I see. That is quite the bind.
Not that we're in the least bit surprised.
Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T.
Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by one.
That was uncalled for. Besides, you're... Wait, hold on. Larry, it was you!
You're the one who wrote me my Still Samurai autograph. Oh, you didn't notice earlier? I winked at you through my headpiece. What's going on? And why are you beat red?
Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? No, sorry. Am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? Ah, so this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what you ask? The murder of a man who had snuck into the embassy. Master Mask 2. Master Mask 2? Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. No matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butt is innocent of all wrongdoing.
Shifu, we've identified the victim.
Good work. I'll take that report now. Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek at it as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one is me. So no, you may not take a peek. But Agent Lang... Agent Lang, will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look? Yes, of course. You let the detective see the file. You're Detective Bad. You're the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right? Fancy meeting you here, Detective. You weren't expecting me? Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Atagarasu, non-stop. I even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop, in case a card was ever found. What incredible dedication to the case. Detective Bad knows the Atagarasu's MO very well, and his passion for the chase hasn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you going to make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest the Atagarasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him. I'm in your debt, Detective Bad. About the murder of Damas II, would Would you be willing to fill me in on a few of the details? When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Langer and I took ourselves off guard duty and put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene. Taking advantage of the chaos, Damas II, we broke into the embassy. Probably to steal some treasure or another. And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone else in this room. Why exactly was that man placed under arrest, Detective? That samurai. He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reasons you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless. Well, it was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the Albastian Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech, and that's when the Yatagarasu showed up. But keep in mind, the Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. No seats for the guests who had been called to sit in them were empty. A no-show? Who was it that failed to take their seat? The Still Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Still Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time. And where was he? He was on the roof, with one of his legs down a chimney. That chimney leads directly into this room. Larry Butts, you really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation. There are some weapons on display on this wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. They must be the counterparts to the Balby's knives, which means that the blades inside these scarabs would match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Hogan. Knives adorned with flowers are on display here. I suspect that these are the counterpiece to the Balby's knives. These knives should match the blade on the... Yeah, you said that already. What? One of the knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the two pieces, the blade and the handle, fit each other.
It would appear that they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly.
Then this means that an Albastian knife did find its way into Babel. But how? The person shaking hands with the Still Samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba.
It was taken just before the murder.
The Still Samurai must be very popular. They're even using the National Treasure as a backdrop.
I just don't understand what exactly is so great about a top knot there.
Clearly there is a depth to this show that a young person like you can't fathom.
Speaking of young people, it's young children the target audience of this show to costumed actors.
Your gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have an equally lovely name.
Miles Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare.
Passion flowers? That's a rather unusual name.
It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ.
As they say, you learn something new every day. So this is the victim, Damas II.
What is with this gaudy outfit?
You don't know about Master Mask. A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace.
So this thief is separate from the Yatagarasu?
I thought they were for a while, because their MO and targets were different. Damask likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Gumshoe was in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about Damask.
That's alright. Well, I'd probably hear tales of his failure anyway.
You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we? So this is the murder weapon in this case?
There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it?
What did you expect? It's still Samurai Daddy's secondary weapon. I only call it his secondary because, although he uses his sword in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that he turns to in a real fight.
You sure know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai.
That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of this sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. What is he holding? Looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear that directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There's something written on the back as well.
I'd like you to steal the Prima Dex statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that?
If I had to guess from the text, I would say that this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Just who is the person that requested the theft of the Prima Dex statue? I thought that Damask had quite the business. This guy, he's just a copycat using the name. A phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashino. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy is the real Damas II. The cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. There was the exact same statue sitting in that Balby's office we examined.
It's the Prima Dex statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Cordofia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Alabast and Babel claim to have the real thing.
What an incredibly childish fight to have. Let's just get right to it, shall we? Look at this photo and tell me what you find odd about this scene, Miss Von Karma.
The apparent joy in the ambassador's face as he shakes the top-knot's hand.
That's not it. I was trying to point out that the statue in the photo is facing a different way.
You're right.
This statue is a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or a secretariat-level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched this statue around the time of the crime. Okay then. Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about.
Hey, how about that? I got a few things I've got to ask you too.
What is it?
It's like both you and him. How is it that the two of you always manage to have some cute or hot girl by your side? Francie, what about that promise you made to me? Promise? What promise? The one where you said you would model for my next book. Francie's Whippity Whip Trip. Yo! I made no such promise.
Ever since grade school, we had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the butts. One need to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Laurice Dunim now?
That's Dukesnim! Maurice Dukesnim! Get that straight in your head, Edgy! Ow! Now I remember. You're that rude, pale imitation of a real artist. No. You got it all wrong. I gave up on that whole Laurice business. Besides, when Junior left me and my heart in pieces, that's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me that I want to help her in some way. And I figured I could grow this Steel Samurai outfit. There. Your inane blathering makes less and less sense each time you meet.
I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as a Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the Pink Princess.
You got it. I knew you'd know what I meant, Edgy.
Not really. It's not so much as I understood, but a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry. Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight.
Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too.
Nonsense. I don't believe you have the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. Some past experience has taught me that you are always at the center of some innate, insane event.
Edgy, how could you be so mean? Stabbing me with your words like that?
Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. So I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know.
Okay, I get it. Just stop Francie from whipping me from behind. So, I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy?
I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. So you will tell me what exactly you did, Larry?
No, not yet, Edgy. It'll take more than that to loosen my lips. A lot more! Confess, now! Oh. Okay, well, I was up on the roof.
And why exactly were you up there?
Oh, you know that wintry custom and the legendary hero? Legendary
Hero?
Santa Claus. Santa
Claus.
I wanted to do that thing he does, so I climbed up to one of the chimneys. But when I got there, there was smoke pouring out of the chimney.
And?
Oh, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up.
Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right?
Of course I know. I did graduate from junior high, you know.
Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history.
Oh, crud!
It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as prime suspect in this murder.
Come on, man. What's so wrong with pretending to be Santa?
Let's start with the fact that it will be the ideals. Let's start with the fact... Let's start with the fact that it will be the Ides of March in a matter of hours. Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit.
No! Hey, wait a sec. We're not in court.
Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon.
All that. Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in this room, you know.
Yes, apparently you did.
And well, I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it killed someone. Shocked! Foolish fool looking especially foolish for foolishly starting such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you. How would you... Who would believe such a tale?
Sorry, Miss Von Karma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry.
Reggie, you believe me? I just knew that our friendship is something special.
Anyway, even if Larry had simply forgotten the sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name. Which means that I will have to prove his innocence from a different angle. It's the still samurai's primary weapon, the samurai spear.
Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny, just like my heart. It comes at you like whoosh. When you hold it, you just want to live life like BAM!
You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced this spear is up to the task.
Oh, what's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off into the distance. Oh, I get it. Tell you what, I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine.
Did I say anything about wanting one? Maybe I can shut him up if I show him the piece of evidence. Or point something out about the spear. Larry, about this spear.
Oh, are you feeling it? Bam!
I thought there was something strange about this spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me or is the spear a bit bent?
What? No way! It's exactly as it should be, yo!
I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now, take a good look at this, which you drew with your own hands. You can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape. What do you have to say to that?
I'm sorry! When I hold the spear, I feel in my hand. When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then during practice, I was spinning it around and around. And bam! I hear the ah! You unbelievable! This is an embassy! But I've always been like that, ever since I was a little kid. One time on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless hot-blooded man.
Larry, clarify that for me, will you?
Okay, so it was some field trip, and I began to shadow fight with myself.
Not that. I meant what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall.
Not that. It's no biggie. Like I left a hole or anything. It's not like I left a hole or anything.
Not why I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. There's somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend.
Man, Edgy, you're so naive.
What? Where did that come from?
Well, you keep calling it the samurai spear, but it's not real. You can't really fight someone with it, because it's hollow on the inside. You could hit it against practically anything and it would bend.
Is that so?
Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that part of your personality is cute. I see. Your friendship truly is something special, Maz Edgeworth.
That's not friendship. It's utter humiliation. Yeah. I guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's...
Yo, Pink Princess, how are you feeling? Still feeling ill? And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork.
And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Albastian embassy a visit. I believe I may need to speak with her as well. Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Miss Pink Princess, if you...
Me! This must be what they call fate.
How could this happen 2 days in a row?
What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag?
Why are you so surprised?
Ah, so you're the one they got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now.
You are acquaintances with Larry?
Why, yes. We worked at the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy boo. You don't need to be jealous. I was in the next room, you know, trying to get in some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy here that I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain. So imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy boo waiting here for me. I mean, who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this? I guess I misjudged you, edgy boo. You misjudged him? I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know.
That was no misjudgment on your part. That's precisely what I was trying to do.
Well, it looks like the winds have shifted, and he's now willing to be chased after. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, Edgy Boo. I'll chase you forever. Or forever, to the ends of the earth. Isn't that just peachy?
This is one of those rare times when Francesca and I actually see eye to eye. Now then, what are you doing here? I thought you were working at Gatewaterland as the Pink Badger.
What are you talking about? That was ages ago.
That was yesterday.
Look, I worked at Global Studios before, a long time ago, right? Well, they called me up this morning, kind of out of the blue, actually.
They called you?
Apparently the girl who plays the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. It happened so suddenly, so they called me in to be her last-minute replacement.
Do they not have enough people on staff at that studio?
I really couldn't say no, so here I am playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean. But the poor girl, I feel bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her, she's going to have a terrible time. I mean, it's not exactly that great to be a stand-in for the very last second. I threw the ragdoll instead, and the audience was in an uproar, because I tell you, they're really just a bunch of simpletons. You're a rather lively old lady.
So, basically, you received the stand-in request this morning, correct?
You got it. If you need to see it, I've got it right here. Look. It appears that she is telling the truth. I tell you, my fine acting moved the entire audience to tears.
Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall.
But being famous has its problems too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. I was just taking my break when I found it stuck under the door to my room. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kinds of things. Look at what it says. Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. Your lovely night. How absolutely revolting. I mean, you'd think he could get my name right. There's no accent in my name.
Wait, this horrible handwriting. Where have I seen it before?
But now you're here, Edgy Boo. I feel 100% safe.
Where do I factor into this?
You'd bust that evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgy Boo?
Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll gladly dispatch a detective to your house later.
Oh, Oh, come on, Edgy-Poo. Stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get.
What were you doing at the time of the crime?
What crime?
What?
After the show was over, I had nothing but free time on my hands. So I used the fireplace in my room next door to keep my bad hip warm. Well, a murder occurred in the room right next to yours. Is that right? Oh, Edgy-Poo, I'm so scared. Hold me, caress me.
If you could please not cling on to my personage.
In any case, I take it then that you have failed to show up at the Ambassador Alba's speech? All that. No, I didn't go. I mean, I may have the heart of a young, tender maiden, but my body just refuses to cooperate at times. As soon as the show ended, my hip started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all.
Can you provide proof of your condition?
Oh, you just go ahead and ask the doctors in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me from the theatre all the way to the embassy.
I have to admit, the thought of her not being able to leave that room is rather pleasant. Prosecutor Von Karma, I brought the police dog, sir. Police dog as you requested, sir.
Good work. You may leave now.
This dog.
I requested the assistance of a dog in our search for the Yatagarasu.
Looks like you guys have some pretty bright dogs in this country too. Hey, you're a real cutie, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good boy. And that's the police dog Gumshoe has been taken care of. I think its name is Missile.
But a fitting name for a police dog that dashes out in front and attacks.
That action alone isn't exactly what's going to solve the case for us, you know.
Now, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go! Good dog. You really are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. Now, what do we have here? What is this? It looks like a small hot dog, but...
Wait, Francesca. Isn't that an official samurai dog?
No, bad Messiah. He ate it. I wonder if it's alright for him to eat that.
It's just a meat substance snack. Featuring the Steel Samurai, I'm sure he'll be fine.
That's quite a bit of information you've gathered there in a single quick glance.
We should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog there in the first place.
It looks like that snack wasn't all Missile found.
Oh, and what do we have here?
It appears to be a lady's undershirt. But I found Ambassador Alba might have an interesting cross-dressing.
I somehow doubt that. It doesn't look like the shirt would even fit him. A samurai dog in a lady's undershirt. What are these two items doing in a room like this? Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt could only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it. If you could please take a look at this brown-coloured undershirt.
Well, Edgy-Poo, what is the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask, and I would have gladly given you as many as you'd like.
Thanks, but no thanks. This shirt was found here at the crime scene. This crime scene.
What?
Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here?
I know nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
What?
Oh, I admit that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt. But I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know. Wearing that pink princess costume was like being in a sauna. And on top of that, I get fingered as a suspect. You're too cruel, Edgy Poo.
Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room?
Of course I am. If I had been the one to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am? I tell you, it's always like this. It's always tabloid articles and missing. Where are you getting married? He said I'm gonna propose. Is that when he should deserve you? But I can't help it. Will you marry me? Honestly, men these days.
Well, I don't believe she is lying about her actions. So I can safely assume she really was drying her shirt by the fireplace on her break. And somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room into this one. I assume the samurai dog was also yours.
That brilliant mind of yours. You really can see through everything about me.
And so the feeling of dread continues. But I suppose I should ask for more details. Blech. That samurai dog was yours, wasn't it?
Oh, of course. I'm forever yours, my edgy wedgy poo.
If you could just stick to what I asked you.
Edgy, are you a missile bag?
No!
You really don't change, do you? When will you learn how to take a joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy. A present?
The studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them all into the pushcart just to move them all. Those studio guys should have delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy? So, did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instructions? Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore me and my question. Aren't you going to stick up for me?
About that. See, after the show I went to rest a spell in the dressing room. Because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were, the samurai dogs. The samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor. I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show. Well, if by preparation you mean sampling them as well.
Excuse me?
Oh, I tried one and thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for the kids, for a kids show, their taste was probably for kids too. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes. As I sat there by the roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, this is... What is it now? Oh, I know. I bet you want a box too, don't you, my edgy boo? Well, who am I to say no to you? But I'll only give you one. The rest are all for me.
Oh, dear God. Give me a sec. Ah, that's better.
Looks like the lesson for today is that the Snow Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks and they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers.
Ugh. There is no trace of this room's fireplace being used.
And your point is?
Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to this fireplace. At least, according to Larry, this is a contradiction of facts, is it not?
Are you sure he wasn't just disorientated or something up on that roof?
There is testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went?
I see. So what you are proposing is this. The smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Oldback's fire. So basically, the fireplaces of neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you are implying?
Precisely. The lady's undershirt that Miss R found.
Ugh. Why are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug. If you were the owner of said undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already.
You have it all wrong. This is evidence. And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Miss R found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershirt.
Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall?
Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other.
Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order.
And there is an X on the back wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a better look at it.
What in the...
The wall separating this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns. As I suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect this room to the neighbouring room.
The neighbouring room?
There appears to be nothing particular about the next room. But the fact that there is nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. It's the fact that there is a secret passageway through this room's fireplace.
We now know that the fireplace connects the two rooms. But how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name the old lady as Damas II's killer now, are you?
No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip. So she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe, this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with Damas II's murder. It would appear that the answer has made itself known. You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on. I'm ready to counter any arguments you may have. Very well then, if you are prepared. I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me.
Good. I'm counting on you, Edgy.
Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is.
My lie?
I knew that there is still something you are keeping from the rest of us. No. Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Why is it that you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? Curse you. Why don't you just hurry up and die already, if that's how it's gonna be? I'll confess to every murder in the whole world and then kill myself and throw everything into mass confusion.
You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. Larry, I only have one thing to say to you.
Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who is ready to die is strong-willed, you know.
Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you caused. I only ask that you do not lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you.
Edgy.
Although, allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case. And that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this.
Alright, hi. This time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works.
Just what happened will do. Now then, if you'll please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight.
After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that is a rare thing, you know. So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try.
Larry, I thought I just finished telling you to not to lie. To not lie anymore.
But it's kinda ultra embarrassing.
And what exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me?
Edgy, my man, I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can't just blurt it out. So you're just gonna have to reason it out to me. As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie.
I have every intention to, for I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter. Jesus Christ, buddy, stop trying to fall asleep.
Hold it!
You left the pushcart. Could you please clarify that statement for me?
Yeah, so the wheels on the pushcart got covered in dirt from the rose garden. It would have made a mess of the floor inside, so Ambassador Alva said to just leave it.
Well, it would be rather impolite to dirty another country's embassy.
Come to think of it, I recall seeing the Pink Princess on my way into the embassy.
What was she doing?
Nothing in particular, because she was being carried by some docs on a stretcher. There.
Oi. She must have been incapacitated by the pain of her bad hip that she suffered during the show.
So I came into the embassy, right?
So you shook hands with the ambassador of the Kingdom of Albas, did you?
Yeah, can you believe it? I did something really cool for a change. But honestly speaking, there's nothing interesting about shaking some guy's hand.
Hey there, why are you disrespecting another country and their very own embassy?
As someone with roots in this country, I feel nothing but incredible shame at this second.
Agreed. I apologize for his inconsiderate words. Now, Larry, please continue.
What is with all of you? You keep saying that kind of thing and I'll tell you only lies.
You're already telling us nothing but lies, so let it go and move on.
Oh, all right already. You don't need to glare at me like that, Edgy.
Hold it!
Larry, I want you to listen very carefully and take this to heart. The whole point of your life is to cause misery and pain to everyone you encounter.
I know. I get it. Oh, I'm totally the bad guy again.
I thought you were his friend. Don't you think that was a bit harsh? Lang Zi says, true friends are bosom friends. If you are in trouble, call on your bosom friend, whose shoulder you can truly cry on.
Hey, bosom buddy, I hope you're listening carefully to my testimony.
Has it crossed your pea-sized brain yet that Agent Lang is out to arrest you? Really out to arrest you, Larry? Now then, you were wandering around inside the embassy, and then what happened?
Hold it!
I should hardly think that chimneys are that rare.
Agreed. Especially since they are a traditional feature of American houses.
Plus, many grand buildings have even larger and fancier chimneys.
Yeah, but the kind of chimney I'm talking about is the really romantic type.
Romantic chimney?
Might sound kind of silly, but women seem to really enjoy them. And I just had a good feeling about that chimney.
Hold it!
You suddenly wanted to play Santa?
Oh, well, actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. That was down at Gourd Lake.
I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me. Sounds like you guys share a lot of history. But to be in childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not offending me to dress up and play Santa, you know? Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family's chimney after all. Actually, it is worth delving into whether or not playing Santa is a big deal. Actually, I believe in the case of this man, playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. Are you saying that your body isn't exactly made of Santa quality stuff? Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang.
Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean.
Tell me something, Larry. Do you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to people all over the world?
Of course I knew that. I did graduate from junior high, you know.
In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me to whom you were delivering a present to.
I was, delivering a present to a child. Not basking in the glow of love.
Objection!
That must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is a lie.
You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that?
In any case, the person you wished to deliver a present unto was most certainly this.
Take that!
Interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect.
spread your lies about me. I totally didn't want to see this old bag so much that I tried to go down a chimney. No!
I advise you to stop right there in your bashing of a lady. A lady.
Well, I must admit that I myself hardly ever have the want to run into that lady. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. And that fact is best summed up with this.
Take that!
And this is something the old lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the princess, Mindy was it again? It seems that this man is quite taken with that actress. That's not true, Edgy. She's the one with the hots for me. I just know it. I can feel her sexy beams in my heart when she's watching me. Sexy beams, I tell you.
You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, cowardly apparition of a man. You haven't matured at all since we last met.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes? And this guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. I suppose you could put it that way. Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. You all have to make me out to be some sort of bad guy. To return to the original topic, I propose that at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Mindy had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know for sure. Hey, Edgy, looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now. But we're not in court at the moment. Shut up. I see what's going on here, and it looks just like what you do in court. I guess old boy here still has something he'd like to say. Lang Zi says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything is out in the open, which is why I'll listen. Alright, you're ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in a battle of wits. Larry, have you forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest? So you think that all I wanted to do was to go visit Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late to the speech. And to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder. And that's what you really meant. But why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? Hey, someone say something! Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this? Not as a confession, but as testimony? So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claim. Claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that?
So it was you. You're my stalker. But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm the devoted type of woman who's holy. As long as Edgy Poo is alive, I can just trust him. Earlier, I was tempted by just a love for my dear Edgy Poo. Stay completely true to my beloved. I'm so inspired. You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and other and completely worthless man. I thought I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination.
I believe there is nothing further for me to prove at this point.
What do you mean? Of course you've still got something to prove. You still have to show some proofs that I was trying to meet up with Mindy.
Proof, you say?
Remember, Reggie, everything is evidence in court, right?
You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry? But I understand your point.
You see? I'm a total pro at this now.
Very well, if you wish to see the evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see.
Hold it!
Well, I have been saying that for a while now. After all, if not for that, then for what other reason did you wish to go down that chimney?
You can't say that without any evidence. That's against the rules, Edgy.
Knuckle back!
Yeah, thanks for keeping the prosecutor in line for me, Mr. Suspect.
Hold it!
I have the evidence, and if you wish to see it, that badly I can introduce you to...
But it's not good to keep them waiting, my subordinate. Hurry and show them already.
Lies. All lies, Edgy.
Well, if you wish to lie, then by all means continue. Because I'm ready to expose your lie at a moment's notice.
You won't get the better of me. No, let's see.
Ugh. I'm really going to need to play something else after this game. Hey. It's affecting me badly. I don't even think a break's going to do anything. Okay. Tomorrow. I'll sort that out tomorrow. Ugh. Right. Reaching my limit.
Hold it!
Was the smoke coming from the chimney really that thick?
You bet. It was so thick I had tears pouring out of my eyes. It was a mess.
I see. You do realise that you've just confirmed for us your chimney escapade?
What? That's totally unfair. You tricked me, Edgy.
Hardly. You simply have yet to master how to counter this cross-examination technique.
Well, what I just said was a slip of the... no, I mean, I just said the wrong thing. Besides, isn't this what you really meant to say about what I did tonight?
I'm not quite sure how you could mistake that actress for this lady.
Edgy Boo, are you staring at me? Are you finally succumbing to my feminine charms?
I should think that the still samurai is the one who should know all about your charms.
What? Me? Edgy, what are you trying to do to me?
Nothing. Simply that the still samurai and the pink princess are husband and wife.
Is my poor little Edgy Boo jealous?
Ugh. If you could please drop that line of discussion right this instant.
But Edgy, I told you, I already have Mindy.
Speaking of Mindy, exactly what kind of woman would you say she is?
Edgy, are you seriously telling me you don't know who the Mindy is? She's just like what her name means. She's super sweet with a great smile. I don't mean to brag, but she's one of the troupe's fastest rising stars.
Interesting. Yeah. So you're saying a woman like that is what made you late to the speech?
Curse you two! Why is everyone out to make a suspect out of me? Look, all I can say is this. I was late to the speech.
Hold it!
I suppose you might be correct in a small way.
What do you mean by that?
Besides being a suspect in a murder, there are a few other things you are suspect of.
Oh, not you too, Francie. You tried to stop me, but I won't let you intimidate me like that. Look, I already told you, Miss Oldbag, I wasn't after you. I was trying to see Mindy.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, can I just arrest this guy already? I completely understand how you feel, Agent Lang.
Wait, please listen to me, what I have to say.
If you have a serious hesitation to make, then I'll consider listening. However,
No problem. I'm going to put all I've got into this, so listen good, okay?
Hold it!
Larry, this is the final point you wish to make?
You got it. I've called on all the energy I have and told it to you with all my soul.
In that case, allow me to take that soul and break it.
Yes, we'll stamp it under our feet until it's been ground to a fine powder.
Fine powder.
If you really put all your soul into that, then you're ready for what's coming. What's coming, right?
In place of the Honourable Larry, I offer my soul to you.
Larry, come out from behind there and face this like a man.
You're scary, my liege.
This whole testimony is one giant confession of all that he's done tonight. He's practically begging me to show why he bothered to put himself through all of this.
Objection!
Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter.
Hey, why are you showing that thing to me?
Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving knight. Well, isn't that just romantic?
But you weren't able to descend on her from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
Objection!
You can pretend to be ignorant as you like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you were not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit.
Take that!
Larry, I suggest you take up penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again.
What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English.
You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the average eye.
Hey, stop picking on me. So embarrassing.
There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? The punching. But that will have to wait until we're off of this crime scene.
Edgy, save me from the scary man.
Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake.
That wasn't me.
Come again.
It's a fake. Someone's out to get me, so they made that fake later. It sent me up.
Accept your defeat graciously.
But you guys are being so mean.
Hold it!
Penmanship analysis.
What's that?
No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours. And we'll know soon enough who it was that sent this letter.
I'll never write another thing in my life.
Hold it!
It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight. For you've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting.
Take that!
And this autograph in our mysterious letter. If we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to your question soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure.
I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head, Edgy.
So, he finally confesses.
I saw the pink princess being carried around in a stretcher and got worried, right? I wanted to go into Mindy's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy.
Your mind just jumped from the door to the chimney. What a criminally overactive imagination.
Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came down through the chimney.
Except for the fact that the letter was an utter failure at the conveying said statement.
I'm really, really sorry.
Larry, you may be a shameful, good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. However, I always knew that you weren't the killer. I told you to trust me. Because at the very least, I can attest to that about you.
Edgy, you're...
We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you.
No!
In any case, I believe we can say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Budd sought to climb down the chimney, not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door.
Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. But the suspicion on that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay?
Hey, what? Edgy, what does the wolf man mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet?
He means the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget? There are two layers of suspicion hanging over your head. That's exactly what I mean. We can't only rely on the words of the suspect after all. We may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all right, but the blood-stained samurai is all that was left of the crime scene. As long as there's no satisfactory explanation for that. Miss Wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite.
Edgy, that guy, he looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me.
I'm well aware, and you should be as well, that this upcoming battle will be crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler, I've been dealt a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got. I can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed murder weapon. But the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble. But this is one game I can't afford to lose. I was the one who found the body of the victim, Damas II. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner and the suspect Larry Butts in here too. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? They only wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you?
Hold it!
If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that.
Knuckle back!
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are long-time friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence. You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. Oh, but come on! I can't think up something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you, or me for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being, meaning the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence.
Hold it!
So, you were the first to discover the body this time. This time? What's that supposed to mean? You better watch what you say. I only said this time because earlier Kay was the first to discover the body in Bubble. And your secretary, Agent Sheena, was ready to accuse her of murder for that.
Knuckle back!
So are you going to use that excuse to call me suspicious now? Of course not. I was simply pointing out the unusual pattern with discoverers of bodies. But in the Balbonese case, there was proof that she was holding the weapon, right? Well, in this one it's a bit different, since we know exactly where the weapon is.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood? Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Which leads me to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip by.
Hold it!
So the sword is covered in the victim's blood. Yeah, the lab results confirm that the blood on the sword matches the victim's. But the sword is as dull as a vanilla envelope. It's just a stage prop after all.
Steel Samurai is all about safety first, so you can't use a sword. Use it like a real sword.
The Steel Samurai has spoken.
The Pink Princess also appears to have something she'd like to petition to you personally.
What? The Pink Princess would like to say can wait for the day after eternity. Anyway, my point is that even though the sword is too dull to slice with, it's certainly heavy enough to bludgeon someone to death with. Therefore... about this samurai sword. Have you received a report from forensics yet? They confirm that the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. Alright, but have they confirmed that the outline of the wound is consistent with the weapon? That'll be something. Do you see the dead body right there in front of you? So, they were conducting the autopsy right now. Shouldn't that body not be here? Well, I suppose so. I guess they must still be investigating this room. Maybe that it's possible he doesn't know about that piece of evidence's true nature. Anything else you'd like to chit-chat about? No? Good. Now let's continue.
Hold it!
Larry has already testified that he forgot the samurai sword here.
Yeah, I was shaking hands with the ambassador here, and I left it behind by accident.
Not so fast!
So what? You lied earlier. So who's to say that this excuse isn't just another lie?
But I forget stuff all the time. Right, Edgy? Tell him.
Why don't you tell him yourself?
You see? What did I tell you earlier? No one will buy such a pathetically weak excuse.
Yes, well, I know that it's not possible to prove such an excuse is true. And yet you offer it up as fact. You're a worse person than I originally thought. You are free to think what you like. However, I know that Larry is not the killer. Agent Lang, please continue with your argument. I'll expose the flaw in it soon enough.
Hold it!
Just because he is the owner of the weapon, therefore he must be the killer, is it? No. I'm all the way out to the chimney is plenty suspicious in my books as well.
Objection!
Regarding that, I've already drawn the truth out, and the truth is one thing I don't bend.
Not so fast!
It doesn't matter if it's you or whoever. You prosecutors are all the same. And as for me, prosecutors are the one thing I don't trust in.
Objection!
An agent who doesn't trust prosecutors. What are you playing at?
Sorry, sis. But there are only two things I trust. My subordinates and evidence at the crime scene. Agent Lang hates prosecutors, but as long as he trusts evidence that has been left at a crime scene, then there is something I can show him that he can believe in. It's simply not possible that the samurai sword is the real murder weapon, so I should focus on proving that point to Agent Lang first.
Objection!
Do you know what this is, Agent Lang? It's a long spear, right? We used to use those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down. Spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history.
It's the next most effective weapon after the whip.
I think the whip is in a slightly different category. So what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real murder weapon? Is the real weapon? No, I simply want to take you to take a look at this section here. The way it's bent. Precisely. Apparently a certain troublemaker hit it against a wall. Hit it against a wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, insides of the steel samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas. They aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet, there is not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? They are!
Oh yeah, the sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they made them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show.
And still, Sambo's special move was changed tonight because of him?
Ouch!
That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back onto the topic of the spear.
Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se. So all I can do for now, is let the chips fall where they may.
Using guesswork and taking risks in place of real logic is hardly the Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor clever.
Yes, Von Karma. As you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it is for the best if it remains unbroken. No one should have conceived of the notion. But no one should have conceived of the notion to convict all the defendants in the first place.
Objection!
What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It is the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There is nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory.
Hold it!
That may be your opinion. However, I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on towards the truth.
Knuckle back!
You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attacker killed Damas II without bending it. So, what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course, what I need is evidence even Agent Lang can't refute. And this is it. It's time to bring this to a close. It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't it only natural that the suspicion would fall onto the owner of said weapon? How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone we've left unturned. And we have managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. The only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword.
Hold it!
You left no stone unturned? Is that a fact?
Knuckle back!
If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you.
Hold it!
May I inquire as to how are you able to make such a claim, Agent Lang? Lang Z says, capable of miracles beyond comprehension, a mysterious creature as man. Rather than that, it's Agent Lang's quotes that are getting increasingly incomprehensible. The human body is a mysterious thing. Even with a toy-like sword, it's easy to kill a man if you hit just the right spot. Which is why I think it's possible to kill with this thing, even without leaving a dent.
Hold it!
But we can only be sure, one way or the other, by seeing if the wound matches the sword. I know that. But as long as it's a possibility, I can proclaim it as much as I'd like.
Hold it!
But you must know that your conclusion is wrong. Given the circumstance I'm in, the only people I can trust are my subordinates. Because they are much more trustworthy. They are a much more trustworthy bunch than you prosecutors will ever be.
Hold it!
And you call yourself a professional.
Not so fast!
You still don't see it, do you, Mr. Prosecutor? You have to earn my trust. And the only way to do that is to show me proof of another possible murder weapon. Another possible weapon in this room. There is only one other thing left. This is going to be a gamble, but I can't withdraw from the game now. You're not going to get me to trust you by the power of your glare alone. Plus, I have other reasons as to why I think the samurai sword is the murder weapon.
Hold it!
The only place where you could find blood was on the samurai sword. That's right, even with luminol. Which means that there was no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Do I have a problem with Agent Lang's assertion that the samurai sword is the weapon? Yep. If you believe that there is no other door of possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you.
Not so fast!
And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon.
Not so fast!
The real murder weapon? I hate to repeat myself. My men have already searched every last inch of this embassy, and they concluded that nothing else could have been used as a weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it's not possible that your men inspected everything in their investigation. What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate it when people like you slander my men.
Hold it!
I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is the real murder weapon. Alright then, I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed the Master Second. What exactly is it? The real murder weapon which not a single person has yet to touch is this.
Take that!
The national treasure of Alabast. You mean the Primadex statue? Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which, I believe, means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct?
Not so fast!
You know very well that if we did that, that'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babel. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in the balance over a stupid fight related to a sovereignty statue. And I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction the statue was facing just before and after the crime are different. And there is only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue.
Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He is most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please let's be rational about this.
Langsy says, just go already.
Yes, sir. Shifu,
Yeah?
I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the Prima Duck statue.
You see.
But then the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally.
Save your breath. You may act all weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. And I guess you've got to be tough when you're representing the whole country, you know. Agent Lang. What do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine this statue already.
But Shifu, what about causing an international incident?
Quiet. I'll take the fall if I have to later.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone has to take the responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility? We're going to talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then, less talk and more investigating. We want to know the truth. We can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminol. I'd like to run a luminol chemiluminescence test on the statue. Luminol test. Good thinking. If the statue is the murder weapon, then some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay. Let's get the forensics team in here. Looks like you've hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. I guess this means that this is the real weapon that killed Damas II. Indeed. Well, I wouldn't celebrate yet if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. Doesn't prove that he didn't kill Damas II, so the charge remains. We are hardly done examining this statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required. You think so? Okay then, knock yourself out. And what do we have here? This dirty smudge. Looks like handprint. What's a definitive bit of evidence like you doing under here? Looks like we've got some fingerprints to analyse. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. But it looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that for now. Hey, forensics guy, I want results on these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me?
Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir.
Good. And?
Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know the victim of the murder in the Balbalese embassy? The prints belong to him. To Mr. Manny Koken, sir.
But that's... What's going on around here? No, that's impossible. Each Prima Duck statue can only be handled by someone of that country. But by the very fact that Mr. Koken's fingerprints are on this one, leads me to the only one conclusion. This statue is actually Babble's prima dot statue.
Impossible. It can't be.
Oh yeah. Larry never once set foot on Balby's soil, and he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an Albaston knife in Balba. And Demartha II was killed on Albastian soil with Babel's national treasure. And the mystery of the great Vipiatagarasu visited both countries. And the pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form. This is going to be a very long one, isn't it? Anyway, I know I said I'd take a break at the to be continued, but I'm going to end now. Because today is Sunday. Sunday is not good for streaming for me. Well, not the best to stream on. So and also that took a hell of a lot longer than I thought it would. And to be honest, at this point I really should expect that. Oh well. That, though, will be all for now. We'll be back tomorrow with more.